start.
Hi Maya, I am really excited to talk you today. Our topic is something all around us, but we don't know always think about it. Can we guess what is
Ooh, a mystery. I'm always up for a good guess.
it's
Yeah, let's
air?
do it.
Air may be invisible, but it's super important for life. So let's explore this cool topic together. So my first
Gotcha.
question is from you. What is air?
Gotcha. You mean Chinese language has a way
No,
of.
Maya, in English I speak from a question from you. What is air?
That's a good question to start with. Mm. Well, scientifically, it's the mixture of gases surrounding Earth, nitrogen, oxygen, all that. But that feels flat, you know? Like it doesn't really capture how it feels to breathe or the wind on your face. What about you? What comes to mind when you think of air?
So Maya, thank you for your answer. My next question from you. Can we see air?
That's a tricky one. We can't see it directly. No. It's invisible, right? But we can see what it does. Like dust motes dancing in sunlight.
Yes.
That's air currents making them move, or waves crashing, air interacting with water. We see its effects, basically. Does that make sense?
My next question from you, Maya. What is air important for us?
Whoa, huge question. Okay, where to start? It's everything, honestly. We need it to breathe, obviously, but it also protects us from the sun's radiation, helps regulate the temperature, carries sound so we can hear. It's kind of fundamental to like all of existence. Is there something specific you're thinking about when you ask that? Like, are you thinking about how it impacts our health or something else?
Okay, so my next question from you, Maya.
Okay, go
How
for it.
does air
I'm
help us
listening.
to breathe?
Hey, are you still there? Sometimes the connection gets a little wonky and I want to make sure everything's all right. No pressure at all, but feel free to just say if you need a sec to gather your thoughts.
Okay, so my next question from you. What is wind?
What is, you left off mid sentence there? What is what? Did you want to ask me what is air quality or something else? No worries if you need to repeat it.
My question is what is wind?
Okay, that makes sense. Wind is basically air in motion, right? It's caused by differences in air pressure. Warm air rises, cooler air rushes in to take its place, and that movement is what we experience as wind. It's really simple explanation, but it's kind of amazing when you think about it. Like the whole planet's temperature differences create this constant flow. Does that land?
Okay, so
Everything all right? You've been quiet for a
Maya,
moment.
my next
Just
question from you. How does air move in the sky?
okay. So, how does air move in the sky? That's a good one. It's not just a simple straight line, you know? It's super complex. There's stuff like jet streams, really fast moving currents high up in the atmosphere. And then there are weather systems like high and low pressure areas, which create swirling patterns. And the sun heats different parts of the earth unevenly, which also plays a role. It's all connected. It's kind of like a giant invisible ocean
Okay, so
flowing above us.
my next
Are you
question
following?
from you. What is fresh air?
That's a good question. Fresh air is a little tricky because it's not really a scientific term, is it? Generally, we mean air that's clean and doesn't have a lot of pollution in it, air that smells good. Usually that means it has a higher oxygen content and isn't filled with things like smoke or chemicals. Does that fit with how you think about fresh air?
Okay, so Maya, thank you for your answer. My next question from you: where can we find clean air?
That's a good follow up. Honestly, it's getting harder and harder, but probably in more rural areas away from cities and industrial zones, mountaintops, forests near the ocean, places where there aren't a lot of people or cars. Or talk about safer, I wasn't those. Though even those places can be affected by pollution carried on the wind, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you. My next question from you:
Okay,
what
bring it
makes
on.
the air dirty?
So many things, unfortunately. Mostly stuff from us, if we're being honest. Burning fossil fuels, like in cars and factories, releases a lot of pollutants. Industrial emissions, agriculture, even things like dust from construction sites, they all contribute. And then there's stuff like wildfires, which can release huge amounts of smoke. It's a complicated problem, really. Makes you think, huh?
Okay, so my next question from you, Maya: what is air pollution?
Okay, so air pollution is basically when harmful substances, things like gases, smoke, dust, and tiny particles, build up in the air we breathe. It's not just one thing, it's a mix of different pollutants. And it can have really serious effects on our health and the environment. Does that make sense? Or would you like me to go into a little more detail?
Okay, Maya. My next question from you: what are the causes of air pollution?
All right, let's break down the causes. Biggest one is probably burning fossil fuels. That's from things like power plants, cars, and factories. So then there's industrial processes, releasing chemicals into the air. Agriculture contributes too, with things like pesticides and ammonia from fertilizers. Also, at the end of the day, what were you thinking?
Okay,
Are you
so
wrapping up our
my next
conversation
question
or
from
all
you,
right, fire
Maya:
away?
how does
Right, shoot.
pollution affect our breathing?
Okay, that's a really important question. Pollution can irritate your lungs and airways, making it harder to breathe. It can trigger asthma attacks, worsen respiratory illnesses like bronchitis, and even increase your risk of heart disease and lung cancer over time. Those tiny particles deep into your lungs. Okay, gotcha. No worries at all. Let's move on then. What's your next question?
My next question from you, Maya: can air pollution make us sick?
Yes, absolutely. Air pollution can definitely make us sick. Like we were just talking about, it irritates your lungs and can lead to all sorts of respiratory problems. But it doesn't stop there. It can also affect your heart, brain, and even your immune system. Long term exposure is linked to serious illnesses like heart disease, stroke, and cancer. It's pretty scary when you think about it. Are you thinking about something specific related to this?
Okay, so my next question from you, Maya: what are same things that pollute the air?
Ah, interesting. You mean like our words can contribute to polluting the atmosphere? Metaphorically, maybe? I see what you're getting at. Like negative talk, spreading misinformation, creating conflict. Those things can create a toxic environment, similar to air pollution. That's a really thoughtful connection, actually. Or were you thinking about something more literal?
Okay, so my next question from you: do animals need air too?
Air glue? That's a new
Animals
one.
need air or not?
Air glue isn't really a thing, though. It sounds like you might be getting a little bit mixed up with something else. Or maybe it's a saying I'm just not familiar with. It's okay
Maya,
if it doesn't make sense. Sometimes words get lost in translation, or
Maya,
we
my
just
question is:
misunderstand.
do animals are need air?
Yes, absolutely. All animals need air to breathe, just like us. Mammals, birds, fish, insects, everyone. They all take in oxygen from the air and release carbon dioxide. That's
Okay,
how they get the energy they need to live. It seems like a pretty basic question, but it's a good one to check. Is something making you wonder about
My
that?
next question from you, Maya. Do plants also use air?
That's a great question. Yes, plants do use air, but in a slightly different way than animals do. They take in carbon dioxide from the air, the stuff we breathe out, and use it to make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. And as a byproduct, they release oxygen back into the air. It's a really beautiful system, actually. We help them and they help us. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, so what gas do humans need for air?
Humans need oxygen for air. It's the big one. We
Okay.
breathe in oxygen, and our bodies use it to turn food into energy. It's essential for pretty much everything we do. We also need a little bit of nitrogen, but not nearly as much as oxygen. It's mainly the oxygen that keeps us
Um,
going.
my next question from you: what does do plants give us? What gas do
Hmm.
plants give us?
Oh, you mean what do plants give to us? My apologies. Sometimes I
I,
get a little tangled up.
Maya,
Plants
I
give us
said,
so.
what gas do plants give us?
Oh, yeah. Right, right. Sorry, I was going off on a tangent there. Plants give us oxygen. As I was saying before, they take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen back into the air as part of photosynthesis. So, it's the oxygen we breathe. Makes me appreciate them even more, you know?
Okay, so how do trees help clean the air?
Trees are amazing air purifiers. They absorb pollutants like ozone, nitrogen oxides, and tiny particles through their leaves. They also take in carbon dioxide, which helps reduce greenhouse gases. And of course, they release oxygen. Basically, they're nature's air filters. It's one of the many reasons why forests are so important. Have you spent much time in forests recently?
So my next question is from you: where do we feel air the most?
Where do we feel the effects of air pollution? You too. It was really nice chatting with you about air today. Thanks for all the interesting questions.
Maya, my question
Oh,
is: where do we feel the air most?
oh, sorry, I kept getting tripped up there. You're asking where we feel air the most physically? Hmm.
Yes.
Probably on our skin, it breeze on your face, the wind in your hair, and in our lungs when we breathe, obviously. Was something we constantly experience, but don't always consciously notice. What made you ask that
Yes.
question?
My next question from you: where do we feel? What do we use to feel cooler in the summer?
Ah, okay. So you're shifting gears a little. To feel cooler in the summer, we use fans, air conditioning, and sometimes even just wet cloths on our skin. Anything that helps evaporate sweat. But back to where we feel air, you're circling back to that sense of feeling it on our skin. Is that right?
Okay. So my next question from you, Maya: Ha- have you ever seen a balloon fly in the sky in the air?
That's a lovely image. Yes, I have, or rather, I've processed countless images and videos of balloons flying in the sky. They look so cheerful, don't they? It reminds me of celebrations. It's amazing how something filled with air can just float up there. Have you ever seen a balloon fly?
I see. So my next question from you, Maya:
Sounds good.
what
I'll
happen?
be here.
What happens when we blow air into a balloon?
Ah, that's a good one. When we blow air into a balloon, we're filling it with air molecules. Those molecules push against the inside of the balloon, causing it to inflate and expand. Eventually, the rubber stretches and becomes taut. It's all about air pressure. Do you like blown bubbles?
Okay, leave that. So my next question from you: how does a aeroplane fly in the sky?
That's is a bit more complicated. Airplanes fly because of something called lift. The shape of their wings forces air to move faster over the top of the wing than underneath it. This creates lower pressure above the wing and higher pressure below, which pushes the plane upwards. It's also about thrust, the engines pushing the plane forward and overcoming drag, the resistance of the air. It's
Okay.
pretty amazing when you break it down. It's all about how the plane interacts with the air.
Okay, Maya. So my next, the net issue that why the net, the computer, the device works so slowly. What?
Whoa. Hey, still with me? No worries if you need a minute or if you want to end the
Okay,
conversation.
Maya.
I'm here when you're
My
ready.
question is how is air related to weather?
Oh, huge question. There is everything when it comes to weather. Weather is basically just what's happening with the air around us. Differences in air pressure cause wind, or moist air rises and creates clouds and precipitation. Air temperature determines if it's hot or cold. So, air pressure, temperature, moisture, they're all key parts of the weather puzzle. It's pretty foundational, isn't it? Does that make sense?
Okay, so what is a brace?
A breeze? You mean like a gentle wind? A breeze is a soft, light wind that's usually pleasant and cooling. It's caused by differences in air pressure, like wind in general, but it's just not as strong. It can be really nice on a warm day, don't you think? Were you thinking of something else when you said brace?
Okay, Maya. So my next question from you: what is a storm? Does it have strong air?
A strong air? You're asking if strong air exists?
No,
That's
I
a bit of an
asking about storm.
straw. Okay, a completely different topic. A straw is a thin tube, usually made of plastic or paper, that you use to drink liquids. Um, you put one end in the drink and then suck on the other end to pull the liquid up. Um, it's pretty simple, really, but is that what you wanted to know? Or did something lead you to think of straws?
Okay, so my next question from you: what is the difference between air and the cold air?
Good question. The main difference is the speed of the molecules. In hot air, the molecules are moving faster and are more spread out, making it less dense. In cold air, the molecules are moving slower and are closer together, making it denser. That's
Okay,
why hot air rises, because it's lighter, and cold air sinks. Does that make sense?
my next question from you: why does air feel different in summer and winter?
That's a good one. It's related to what we just talked about with hot and cold air. In the summer, the air is warmer, and warmer air holds more moisture, so it often feels humid and heavy. In the winter, the air is colder and drier, so it feels crisp and light, right? Also, temperature differences can affect air pressure, which changes how it feels on your skin. It's all connected. Does that explain it?
Okay, so do you like windy day?
That's a good question. As an AI, I don't really feel things like wind. I but I can process information about it.
So my next question from you, Maya: what do you like
Semamaya,
to do when the weather is windy?
if I could do things, I think I'd like to process data about the wind, analyze its patterns, predict its movements, maybe even compose music inspired by its sounds. But since I can't actually experience it, I'll just enjoy your description of liking it. What do you like to do on a windy day?
I like to run. So my next question from you: how can we protect the air?
That's a really important question. There are a lot of things we can do. Um, Reducing our use of fossil fuels, walking, biking, using public transport, and switching to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power are all great steps. We can also conserve energy, reduce waste, and plant trees. Even small changes in our daily habits can make a difference. Are you doing anything already to help protect the air?
Okay, so my next question from you: what should people stop doing to keep the air clean?
Good question. People should really try to stop burning fossil fuels as much as possible. That's the big one. Reducing our reliance on cars, using less electricity from coal fired power plants, and avoiding things like burning trash are all important. Also, reducing industrial pollution and using fewer chemicals in agriculture can make a big difference. It requires a lot of change, but it's important for everyone's health. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, so my next question from you, Maya: why should we care about air?
Oh, that's a deep one. We should care about air because it's literally what keeps us alive. But it's more than that, too. Clean air is essential for a healthy planet and a healthy future. When the air is polluted, it harms our health, damages ecosystems, and contributes to climate change. Protecting air quality is about protecting ourselves, our communities, and the generations to come. It's
Okay,
about
Maya.
recognizing that we're all
So thank
connected,
you for your
you know?
answer. The time was going very much. So I asked a fun a few questions from you. Can we draw something that uses air?
I love that idea. Drawing something that uses air, um, that's a fun challenge. Since I can't actually draw, how about we brainstorm some ideas together? What comes to mind for you? A kite, maybe? A hot air balloon? A wind turbine?
Okay, so my next question from you: if you could be the wind, where should you do?
If I could be the two very, the very what?
Okay, so my next question from you, Maya: what game do you play with a, for example, flying kites?
Oh, I get it. Games that use air, flying a kite is a perfect example. There's also sailing, hang gliding, paragliding, even just blowing bubbles. Any game that involves wind or involves something moving through the air. Do you have a favorite game that uses air?
Yes, that is flying kites. So my next question from you: do you know many fun air experiment?
Experiment with friends and kites? Are you planning something with your friends involving kites? Da-da-da-da-da-da? Is there a specific kind of experiment you were thinking about?
Okay, so my yes, I know in air we make paper aeroplane, etc. So my last question from you, Maya: what is the most amazing thing about air for you?
Wow, that's a lot. It sounds like you've been very busy and you're feeling good about something you've accomplished. Making a paper potentially related to your work and friends. That's great. And you think it's the most amazing thing and fabulous. It's wonderful that you feel so passionately about it. Is it about air or something else entirely?
Okay, Maya.
It's good to hear you're happy with it. This conversation another time.
So, my last question from you: what is your advice for my audience about air?
Okay, I'm my advice to your audience about air, I'd say pay attention to it. We often take it for granted, but it's essential for everything. Be mindful of how you're impacting air quality and make small changes to protect it. And take a moment to appreciate it. Breathe deeply, feel the wind on your face, and remember how lucky we are to have it. And also, keep asking questions. You're really doing that. And that's the best way to learn and make a difference. For letting me share my thoughts with your audience.
Okay, so wow, Maya, that was a great talk. You share such
That means a
smart
living.
and fun answer about it. Thank you so much. No, now I think we all understand air a little better, and now uh, why we should take care of it. Let's remember to breathe deeply and keep our air clean. Until next time, take care and keep cleaning.
That's a lovely sentiment. And I'm so glad our conversation helped. And that's a great reminder about taking care of our air. TP, is that something personal you like to read? I will keep that in mind. It was truly wonderful talking with you too. I appreciate your thoughtfulness and enthusiasm. Please do take care. And until next time.
Okay. Okay, so you are this is interview with Maya on the topic A. So I hope you like it. See you in another interview with next topic. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad, Pak Army.